Hello, once again, welcome to Bob's Health Talk. Today we're gonna tackle colon cancer, and we'll go through the usual definition of what colon cancer is and how to prevent it, the risks, and stuff like that. So let's start. So, what is colon cancer? Basically, this is an abnormal growth within the colon or the large intestines, and also it includes the rectum. Um, what are the causes of this condition or this cancer, or what are the things that make you at risk of getting colon cancer? So, I'll classify them as modifiable and non-modifiables. The non-modifiables are age, advanced age would put you at risk, and also family history. So if somebody in the family tree had colon cancer, then you are at risk of um, getting colon cancer. Then the modifiables is basically your lifestyle, your diet, exercise, on weight, in things like cigarette smoking or alcohol use, excessive alcohol use. So there are screenings that are recommended by groups out there. One of them is the American Cancer Society, which basically asks or recommends that individuals with average risk of colon cancer be screened from age 45 to age 75. After age 75, it's a discussion that you probably need to have with your primary provider or with your gastroenterologist if you're seeing one. It all depends on what was found in prior screening test that might um, require screening after age 75. But that's a discussion that you need to kind of like sort out with your specialist. So there are different kinds of screening tests that are available. They're about five. I'll just kind of like narrow it down to about three, and I'm just letting you know that there's screening tests or options that are out there that you can exploit with your provider. So one of the screening tests that is there and is known as a gold standard is colonoscopy. This is the best, and colonoscopy is done from age 45 to age 75, and this is a test for everybody. It's basically allows the provider or allows a specialist to go through your rectum and look with a camera and look into your colon, and if they find any polyps or any growth, they take a sample, and that sample is taken to the lab for you know analyses, and if it comes back that you have cancer, or you have kind of like borderline, then you monitored closely. So it's the beat all in terms of screening for colon cancer. Now, if you're not willing to go through colonoscopy, or you have any, qualms about it, then there are stool-based studies that you can do. The stool-based studies basically checks for blood in your stool, or the microscopic blood, not visible blood, but microscopic blood, but also some, cancer DNAs or cancer, chemicals that might um, show up in the stool. So most stool studies are done annually. There's also a Cologuard that is done every 3 years. If this comes back positive, then you still have to do a colonoscopy, kind of like to confirm that whatever is being picked up in the stool is cancerous. Then the other option is virtual, and virtual colonoscopy basically is an imaging. So you do a CAT scan of the colon, and if it shows, if it's questionable, then you end up getting a colonoscopy. So it's a conversation you want to have with your doctor. The next thing that I want to talk about is how do you know that, or how do you become suspicious if you're in between, say, the screening? So, if a screening is every 5 years, so between the 5 years, what are the symptoms that if you come across, you should be concerned? Or if you're not of that screening age and you come across these symptoms, what are these things that you could be looking for that requires you to bring attention to your provider? So one of them is changes in your bowel habits. If just all of a sudden, you're not moving your bowels the way you normally do, then you need to let somebody know. And then if you have chronic diarrhea or chronic constipation, you're always constipated or you always have diarrhea, then that's something that needs to be figured out, why you always running or why you always blocked. The other one is noticing blood in your stool. Again, the people that don't like looking at their stools, but it could save your life. So please, once in a while, take a look at your stool, and if you notice blood, or if it's black, or it's dark, and you didn't eat anything that would make it dark, then you need to let somebody know. The other one is just a thin, narrow stool. It's they have a term called pencil thin stool. So if your stool were basically well formed and all of a sudden they're narrow, then there's a suspicion there's something that is blocking the colon that makes them come out that narrow, that thin. You need to let somebody know. If you have the sensation of incomplete emptying each time you move your bowels, you feel like, oh, there's not this enough, this more left, and then you need to also be suspicious of that. Then persistent abdominal pain that doesn't go away, unexplained weight loss. Unexplained weight loss is more like always concerning for cancer, any kind of cancer. It doesn't have to be colon cancer. Now, prevention. And my goal again is to kind of like look for ways in which we can prevent these things before they occur or before they are an advanced stage. So how do we prevent colon cancer or getting colon cancer? So one of them is in basically diet, the food that you eat. So a diet that is rich in vegetables, fruits, and then we also favor whole grains. Um, Try to avoid processed wheat. Also avoid processed foods and also red meat. Then exercise. So you need to exercise regularly. I can't emphasize more about this, but exercise regularly, at least 3 times a week. And this is more like focused exercise, and you don't just say, oh, I do a physical job, or I walk to work. No, it's more like, okay, I'm doing this purposefully to better my health. So it's a kind of exercise that we need to kind of get into. Keep a healthy weight. So weight again is creeping in here. So if you're overweight, then that's puts at risk of getting colon cancer. Do not smoke. If you're smoking, cut down with the goal of quitting, and then limit your alcohol intake. If you do all these, then you're limiting your chances of getting colon cancer. But key is that, remember, from the age 45 to age 75, you need to be screened for colon cancer. There are options, alternatives for screening for colon cancer. Talk it over with your doctor.